Yeah, so I kind of make minimum wage and it kind of sucks. So for those of you who don't know, I currently work at an ice cream shop, and yes, that means I am a part of the proletariat. And I've always been a really big supporter of teens getting jobs. And after I started working and after I met some people, I've become an even bigger supporter of the idea of teens getting jobs. So there are the obvious benefits of getting a job: time management, money management, work ethic, and learning how to act so that your coworkers don't absolutely hate you and find you annoying. And yeah, honestly, I still need work on a lot of those things. Money management is actually a huge struggle for me. Luckily or unluckily, growing up I never really had to deal with money. If I wanted something, I would just ask my parents for money and they would either give it to me or just say no. I never had my own money to really deal with. I never really had to decide when to use my money or when to not use my money. My parents kind of just decided for me when I got stuff or when I didn't get stuff, which growing up was completely okay with me. But now that I'm making my own money, I try not to spend my parents' money on frivolous things. Like, I'll only use their credit card and stuff for things that I actually need, things like food or books for school or gas. And so I use my money for entertainment and just buying things that I think are cool. And because of that, I really realized that I really suck at money management. I'm so bad at it. And I think that learning that now and trying to work on it now is a lot better than later when I eventually get a real job. I feel like all the other things are honestly pretty obvious: work ethic, time management, things like that. It's pretty obvious that you just have to do those things if you get a job, and they're going to get better if you get a job. So I think that stuff's pretty obvious. But that is not the reason I'm making today's video. I've learned that when you pick a job, there's a lot more that you should consider than just the amount of money you make. I think there's a lot of really unique experiences and really interesting lessons that jobs can teach you if you pick the right job or if you just approach a job with the right mindset. And when deciding whether or not you should just have a job in the first place, I don't think people normally consider the kind of experiences that you can gain from working. So imagine you go into an ice cream shop to get some ice cream and it's really busy. And that kind of sucks because you have to wait in line to get your ice cream. But eventually you get your ice cream and someone serves you that ice cream, you pay for it and you sit down and you eat your ice cream. Life's good. But how often do you think of the people who scoop your ice cream? To you, people who scoop ice cream or people who work behind food counters only have a single purpose, and they only exist for a single instant: to serve you food and to give you ice cream. And the second you get that ice cream, they disappear from your mind. You don't think about how much it sucks to work behind a counter and stand and serve food all day. When you see a grumpy worker or a worker who clearly is tired and wants to go home, you don't think that this person has a life outside of work. You think that he's a person whose sole purpose in life is to serve you pizza or ice cream. You don't think that this person just had a really long, rough day, or that this person might have just failed a calculus test. And I didn't either, but then I started working and I became that person behind the counter. And let me begin by just saying this: working is really hard and tiring, and I have a pretty easy job. I mean, I scoop ice cream. It's not like I'm digging holes in the blazing hot sun. I've got it pretty well off. And I honestly don't even work that much. Some of my coworkers work like 4 times as much as I do. And they're still students just like me. But it's still really tiring to just work like a 4 or 5 hour shift, especially after school and all the other things you have to do. And it's not like I make a good amount of money. I literally make minimum wage plus whatever tips people give me. But like, no one really scoops their ice cream scooper. And honestly, that's okay with me because I'm really fortunate enough to not have to pay or worry about any of my bills right now. So it's not that big of a deal to me. But I feel like I've learned something and gained something that makes the amount of hard work I put in and the little amount of money I get worth it. I have a newfound appreciation for people who work behind food counters. Whenever I go to Chipotle or McDonald's, I look at the people who work behind those food counters and I'm like, that's a hard job. Like, it's not easy. Like, I really appreciate you serving me this burger or you giving me this pizza. Like, it is not easy at all what you're doing, and I really appreciate that. And now, whenever I go to fast food restaurants like Chipotle or McDonald's, I always round up to the nearest dollar because it's a hard job and I am literally there sometimes and it's not fun sometimes. And so I just appreciate the people who work behind there a lot more than I used to. And this is a question that I really like to ask people when I meet them. I like to ask people, what have you gained from your job other than just money? Is there any lesson or experience you've learned that has made you grow as a person? And one of my favorite answers is from one of my friends. And he used to work as a sales rep, one of those people who basically stand at Walmart or like Sam's Club and try to sell you TVs as you're walking by. And he used to be a really shy and reserved person, but he told me that once he became a sales rep, he learned to get outside of his comfort zone and start reaching out towards other people because he had a job that was literally contingent upon him talking to other people. And he also told me that he realized that sales reps need grit. You have to be able to handle rejection, and you have to just face it and move on. Because if you're trying to sell TVs to people, 50 to 70% of the people just don't care at all. They just keep moving whenever you ask them something. And so I thought that was a really interesting story. So I really recommend that you go out and get a part-time job, and not just because of the amount of money that you can make, but because it can make you grow as a person. Whether that be through gaining a new experience that helps you relate with other people, or an experience that pushes you outside of your comfort zone and pushes you to grow. Hey guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I really hope I get to see you guys next time. Peace.